What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back. Happy Friday. Today we are talking about audibles, when to get them. Should I get an audible? So let's get right into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So before we start, I just want to say that we have our reading course for the November reading course is already full. We have 5 candidates to be coming in on Monday to start the course. Our next upcoming courses are not yet set. We still to determine what dates we're going to do those. So stay tuned in our newsletter. If you haven't signed up, you can find the link below to do that. Social media and our website as well. You'll find the dates once we have them determined. We will upload those to the website so you can schedule or book your next reading course. Or if you're interested in the next upcoming courses, shoot us an email to gear@ChutingStar.com so we can send you all the information and we can get you started. So about a year ago, I did a video about the best audible altimeters for beginners. If you're starting out the sport, you're looking for something simple, easy to use, you can find the link for that as well. I'll leave it at the end of the video. But if you, let's say you have a few jumps under your belt, or you have a lot of jumps and you're looking to get an altimeter, an audible altimeter that will give you a little bit of extra awareness. Obviously, this is personal preference when you're getting an altimeter, visual or audible, digital or analog. But I've seen a lot of people that kind of overdo it. If you get like a visual altimeter that has all the bells and whistles, has a logbook, has a ton of features, and then you have an audible that has the same kind of features, you're kind of overdoing it because you're basically logging your jumps in 2 different units, which is okay if you want to do that, but it's it kind of messes everything up in some cases. But again, it's personal preference. So regardless if you're going with an analog altimeter, which are bulletproof, if you take good care of them, they will last you a long time, and they are pretty accurate. So easy to read, no batteries. So I mean, this to me is my first choice. Always recommend analog altimeters as your main source of altitude awareness, or a basic digital. So let's say if you have something like a Viplo, which we have in stock, ready to ship, in different colors and different dial colors as well. And you're getting something simple, basic as your main source of altitude awareness, like let's say analog, basic digital, or like a Stella, which is a digital altimeter but with an analog dial. So if you're getting something like that and you're sticking with that, I recommend then getting something a little bit more advanced for your audible altimeter with some more features. Or you can go basic as well. It depends on what you want, when you want to get out of the audible altimeter, and if you want to log your jumps with the audible altimeter and have all the information from all of your jumps logged in, which you can later pass on to your written logbook. So again, it comes to personal preference. Nowadays, you have all these altimeters that give you audible altimeters that will speak to you, which are really good. These are from Freefall Data Systems, and they're really awesome. They came up recently with version 4 of the Sono Alti, which is tremendous, and it's been really popular. A lot of people are loving it, so congrats to Freefall Data Systems with that. So yeah, you have a ton of choices out there, from the most basic audible altimeter. You have, let's say, a more advanced altimeter. Let's say you have an analog altimeter like an AltiTrack, which already logs your jump, right? It gives you all the information regarding your jumps, your freefall information, your under canopy information, speed, average speed, and all that. Then you can go with something more basic as your audible. You have an Atlas altimeter, which is already logbook as well, and is also an audible altimeter, so you can use it either on your wrist or on your helmet. Then I recommend going with something simpler like the Solo, or getting something like the Optima or the Quattro from Larsen&Brusgaard, which have more features. Basically, the Quattro has everything the Optima has, plus a few more. So it depends on what what you want to get out of the unit, as I mentioned before. Also, what discipline you're doing. If you're doing wingsuiting, something like that, then you probably have an analog altimeter on your mud flat mount, and then you want to have it a little bit more. And then I recommend going with a Quattro. If you have something like an Aries, let's say, which is a logbook, it will log your jumps, keep all and display all the information from each jump, and then you might want to get something basic. Again, you want to go with something like the Solo or the Optima. The Optima, if you're doing high performance approaches like swooping or competition, or if you're doing demos, and all these landing patterns are totally different than your regular box landing pattern, I recommend going with the Optima, which is a really good tool. And also the Optima has under canopy alarms. If you have, let's say, an analog altimeter, but you want to get an Atlas, which again is all, both audible and visual. The Atlas has also under canopy alarms, which will assist you if you're doing high performance approaches or demos or something like that, which you have to set up a different have a different pattern set up for your landings. Another important thing to keep in mind is that with audible altimeters that have under canopy alarms is not to rely on them for every single landing or approach, because your landing pattern will change depending on where you're jumping, your drop zone, the altitude that the drop zone is situated, wind conditions, weather conditions, your wing loading, what type of size canopy you're using. So that's all of those factors will play a big part on how your pattern is. So don't rely on those specific alarms. Always you rely on your visual skills and also your visual altimeter, which is your main source of altitude information until you touch down. And I say this because I've seen a lot of people rely on their audible altimeters, although they have a visual altimeter, or some have one of those multifunction watches, which are never accurate. That's why they are visual altimeters for skydiving, either analog or digital. That will give you accurate readings of your altitude at all times. So never rely on your audible altimeter. If you have two audible altimeters, because a lot of people have two, especially if you're doing free fly or whatnot, that you're not constantly looking at your altimeter because you're either docking or you're using your hands a lot, I recommend having two. One simple basic audible altimeter and another one with a bit more features. If that's the case, always have them synced. And by this I say, what I mean is sync them with the same break off altitude, pull altitude, and hard deck, because if not, you're going to have a concert inside your helmet of different tones that you're not going to figure out which one is which. So, and that will most likely lead you to pull low or to get hurt in some cases. So yeah, always have them synced. And if you're changing batteries, make sure that you're changing them different times, so that way if one dies on you, you still have the old one as a backup. But this is just plain old common sense, right? Yeah, don't rely on your audible altimeter all the times. Always rely on your main source of altitude awareness, which is your visual altimeter, either analog, which I highly recommend. You know, I love analog altimeters, or a digital altimeter. Doesn't matter if it's a basic one or a more advanced. Always, always, always keep your eye on your altimeter, because again, it's your main source of altitude awareness. So you probably ask, what is a good combination, let's say. So here's a few things. Let's say analog altimeter, super basic, and you want to log your jumps, get a ProTrack 2. Because you get all the information, you're logging your jumps, you can log a ton of jumps on them, and you have a good, let's say, combination. Or if you have an XO from Aeon 2, which is a basic altimeter, you can go with something more advanced like the ProTrack 2, or either the Quattro or the Optima 2 from Larsen&Brusgaard. If you have something like an Aries or an Atlas 2, which are kind of in the same range, the Atlas 2 is superior, to my opinion, because you have a digital mounted wrist mount altimeter, and you have an Audible altimeter. So you have the 2-in-1 plus logbook plus all the features, and it's way easier to configure, more features compared to the Aries, and user friendly. So that's a good combination. You probably can go with that and, let's say, an Optima, which you're already logging your jumps on this, and then you can have this on your helmet if you're using this on your wrist, of course. Remember that the Atlas is a dual altimeter. You can use it on your wrist or inside your helmet. If you're looking to get something simple that you don't have to go nuts configuring it out of the box, and you already have an altimeter, I recommend going with the Solo. I've had Solos forever, and these are indestructible. The good thing about Larsen&Brusgaard, for some reason, their battery life is eternal, and this is just, I mean, it's a figure of speech. You get a low battery light indicator, and it still goes up for like a year or something like that without turning it on or off. I'm sorry, but the Solos they're really good, simple option. If you're looking for a basic Audible altimeter, that will do the job. It's easy to configure. It has loud enough tones and alarms that you can hear them in any helmet, open face, full face, and it will fit. Pretty much all of them will fit in all the helmets currently in the market today. So regardless of what Audible altimeter you get, you have to remember that your main source of altitude information would be your visual altimeter. If this is new to you, then you did not pay attention at the first jump course. So if you have any questions about any of the products we talked about today here, about digital altimeters, analog altimeters, or any altimeters, or anything at all, feel free to shoot us an email to gear@ChutingStar.com, or give us a call Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We'll be more than happy to help you out. And I'll leave links down in the description where you can find all the altimeters that we showed here today. And if you want to place an order for one, you can go right ahead. We have them available, ready to ship at ChutingStar.com.
If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to get our latest notifications. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.